Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Reka Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth, and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading the spirit and sincerity and the truth. I'm the brother Quatazap Sayan, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai with another lesson. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. Yeah, man. And the Spirit had me go into the Sabbath. When is the Sabbath? What does it mean? When does the Sabbath comes in? Gone. So, yeah, our Tazadis video is edifying, and I'm gonna jump straight into it because nowadays we have a Gregorian calendar, which Esau put up for us. And there's a misconception about when the Sabbath really is. Because you got these other Hebrew groups, these Hebrew Israelite groups that say that the Sabbath is from Friday to Saturday. Every week we have a guy walking past at camp and he says Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. But we just greet him back. We say Shalom. So there's this misconception going around in Israel and Yaratazah that through this video I could make it more clear. So Esau gave us a Gregorian calendar, and this is Gregorian calendar in the wiki. The Gregorian calendar is a calendar used in most of the world. It is named after Pope Gregory VIII, who introduced it in October 1582. You see? So this calendar is not even that old. So what did we used to use before this? Let me see. What we used to use before this was the lunar calendar, Slovakia. The lunar calendar is based off the moon, which is this. The lunar calendar is a calendar based on the monthly cycles of the moon's phases. In contrast to solar calendars, whose annual cycles are based only directly on the solar year. The most commonly used calendar, the Gregorian calendar, is a solar calendar system that originally evolved out of a lunar calendar system. A purely lunar calendar is also distinguished from lunisolar calendar, whose lunar months are brought into alignment with the solar year through some process of intercalations. The details of when months begin varies from calendar to calendar, with some using new, full, or crescent moons, and others employing detailed calculations. Since each lunation is approximately 29 and a half days, so based on the lunar calendar, it's not 30 or 31 days, it's 29 and a half days. It is common for the months of a lunar calendar to alternate between 29 and 30 days. Since the period of 12 such lunations, a lunar year is only 345 days, 8 hours and 48 minutes and 34 seconds. Purely lunar calendars lose around 11 days per year relative to the Gregorian calendar. In purely lunar calendars, which do not make use of intercalations like the Islamic calendar, the lunar month cycle through all the seasons of the solar year over the course of a 33 lunar year cycle. You see? So in the lunar calendars, after 33 years, that is what they would call a full, let me see, through the seasons of a solar year over the course. Yeah, that would be one full solar year, you know. So after 33 years, the solar calendar would be right once. But yeah, man, this is only confusion what this Pope brought, with the Gregorian calendar, because that's also the image of the beast, you know. The Vatican City, when they come with their image, then it's just confusion. But yeah, man, let's go into the scriptures. Salakia. I'm gonna jump to Isaiah 66. Now, before I start with that, let me go into Colossians 2 and 8. Because what this brother, this Israelite is doing when he walks past the camp and salutes us with Shabbat Shalom is according to traditions of men, you know. It's not according to the ways of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. See? Because these other Hebrew Israelite groups, they come with their own doctrine and their own traditions, you know. But they don't do what the Bible strictly says. This is Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. Done. So beware lest any man spoil you, meaning rob you, through philosophies and vain deceit, through these other ways of the world, which is not of God, which is not of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. After the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world. And let's go into the word rudiments.
Strong's G 4747 Stoichion. Stoichion.
Stoichion. Gone. And what this refers to is the elements. The elements, rudiments, primary and fundamental principles of any art, science, or discipline. You see? So the fundamentals, the fundamental principles that these people are following is not of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. It's of traditions of men, it's of the world. And if you go into the next one, it says also mathematics. Because the calculation of these people is off, man. It's not Friday to Saturday, or on Sunday. Sunday is a Sunday worship, That's from the Vatican City. That's from these Edomites. But the calculation of these people is off, man. The rudiments of these people is off. Gone. So let me go into Isaiah 66, verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Gone. So you see how the new moon and the Sabbath are linked together. They are joined to each other. And this is in numerous scriptures that those two are mentioned together, because the Sabbath, the Shabbat, is measured by the moon. And if you go into the word moon, Kan, and that word moon in the Hebrew is Chadash. And the outline of biblical usage for the word moon says the new moon month, monthly, the lunar month. You see? Month. Lunar month. So that's what's meant in the scripture. So that's why I made a mistake when I said moon. But let me read again. And it shall come to pass that from one new month to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You see? So the Sabbath is measured by the new month. And let's go into that word moon. And this is the word moon and the meaning thereof. Let's see. The natural satellite of the earth, visible by reflecting. No, that's just Esau, is bullshit. I'm not gonna read that because it doesn't reflect. It is a lesser light, according to the scriptures. You know, uh, explained in Genesis 1. You know, he had a greater light and a lesser light. It doesn't reflect anything. It has a light of its own in itself. Gone. So if you go to the atom, the root of the word from the word moon, this is Old English mona, of Germanic origin, related to Dutch man, and German mont, also to mont, from an Indo-European root shared by Latin mensis and Greek men, mont, and also Latin metri, which means to measure. You see? So basically the word moon just means in Latin to measure. So what do you measure? You measure the times, and you measure the feast days, as our forefathers did. Salakia. Did I miss something? Because it says, let me go here. This is it. The history of the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar was found at Warren Field in Scotland and has been dated to approximately 8000 BC before Christ, during the Mesolithic period. Some scholars argue for lunar calendars still earlier. Rappen Gluck in the marks on a approximately 17,000-year-old cave painting. You see? So the lunar calendar is way older than the Gregorian calendar. That's the ways of the ancient. That's how they used to measure the times. You see? Let's go to Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 46, verse 3. Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before the Lord in the Sabbaths and in the new moons. You see? These two are joined together again, the Sabbath and the new moon, because the new moon references are made because the new moon is the day that the Sabbath begins. It's when the new Sabbath begins, Gone. Let's go to Amos 8. Verse 5. Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we shall sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit? You see? So they linked the new moon with the Sabbath again. The new moon references are made because that's how the Sabbath is known. The Sabbath is made known by the month, by the moon. You see? Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's go to Sirach 43. Bear with me for a second, Khan. This is Sirach 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. You see? So that's the reason that the moon is there. It's to measure the time. It's to declarate for the declaration of times and sign of the world. Verse 7. From the moon is the sign of the feasts and light that decreases in her perfection. A light that decreases in her perfection. Verse 8. The month is also called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven, the beauty of heaven, the glory of the stars, an ornament giving light in the highest places of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You see? But the point was in 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. You see? So the moon is given unto us to measure as a measurement instrument. You see? Let's go back to the book of Genesis 1 and 14. This is Genesis 1 and 14. And Yahweh said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. You see? It's for signs and for days and for years. And how do you measure a year? By the months. And how do you measure a month? By the moon. Okay, let's go to Psalms 104, verse 19. And I'm going to close it off with this. This is Psalms 104, verse 19. He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down. And if you go into this word moon, this is a different word in the Lashawan Kwadash in the Hebrew, which here it says Yarach, Yarach, and the outline of biblical usage says moon. You see? So this is basically talking about the moon. In Isaiah 66, it was talking about the new month. It was talking about the month, but this is the physical moon. And if you go to the root word, which is Strong's H 33991, it is also Yarach, and the outline of biblical usage says the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle, or calendar month, or lunation. You see, so this is speaking about the cycle. So he appointed the cycle of the moon for seasons. The sun knoweth his going down. You see? So these are the differences between the word moon and how the Sabbath is being made known unto us, made known unto men. You see, because it's for a sign in signs, Salakia, it's for a sign and for seasons and for days and for years. That's how you can measure the time. So Yahweh Tazah, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Raka Kodash, Shalom Akim.